Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here to laugh. A little shitty by the time to cut the heat on. So I put the sweater on and gonna go medieval on y'all with my hoodie. Let's go. Writers, 25 rules to live by. Storyteller. Story with a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. The number says you tuning in to the to see him. I appreciate you doing that. You got a good thing going. Let's continue. Right thinking mission, and that's what I want, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. And from the comments that I'm receiving, I appreciate you because I must be doing my job. So thank you. That's my fuel that keeps me going. Let's go. Right thinking is way of life, and that's what it is. My way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, to get all right thinkers to do just that. If you tuning in to become a right thinker, you're here for a reason. My goal is to make sure that work out for you by you knowing thyself. Lessons, tools that I'm giving you. Let's go. That's the intent. That's my agenda. Transparent. No hitting, nothing other than trying to get you to be your best self. Let's go. Know thyself is the question. It's rhetorical, but you should at least have the answer. Right thinkers, I'm gonna make sure you have the answer. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard that. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, oh, it's simple. You teach them. That's what I do. What I do for you. I got you. Stay tuned. I appreciate you too. A person who knows not and believe or think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. If I think, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I've been talking about my favorite subject, God, giving you information how to get to God, telling you how to understand and serve God. So let's talk about that other guy. I know about him too. Oh, I know him real well. So my other area of expertise in having knowledge of the devil, the ego self. Okay, so let's talk about that right quick. Right thinkers. Let's talk about drifters. What's a drifter? Okay, a believer in God. Okay, if a drifter is a believer in God, what's a non-drifter? A right thinker, a knower of God. I keep explaining that to you. You having belief in something don't set well with me, and I don't want you to get comfortable. Well, I believe, and no, don't live your life on no belief. Faith is what drives you. Belief should only be temporary. Why? Because you should find out if that belief is well founded by getting the truth. So calm down, relax. I'm sorry, I get excited because that belief thing drives me up a wall. I'm into knowing. So since we know about God, let me introduce you to the devil. Because a lot of y'all act like y'all don't know who he is or what. Oh, that's you. The devil is anything in opposition to God. Now, that concept that y'all got, that horn man, nah, I ain't got time for that. The devil is your ego, you. So if you don't control you, the devil will kill you. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about drifters, believers versus right thinkers, the non-drifters. The devil brags about how he got 98% of God's people following him and they don't know it. Some of them do, but a lot of them are ignorant to it. He brags about God people think they're serving God, they're really serving him. So you light bearers, you masons, all you fraternity people, he laughing because y'all serving him. Did you know that? Let's move on. Again, I'm here to enlighten with truth and understanding. I ain't here to debate or contradict nothing. Let's go. Hey, believers, the devil says he have 98% of your believers, you become drifters. You don't serve God. You either serving yourself or your concept of the devil, which is the same thing. How can a believer in God, here we go, serve the devil and not know it? Ignorance of self. Real simple. Why? Because they so hell bent on just what somebody told them or what they read in the scripture or that they ain't put no work in. They didn't find nothing out for themselves. So they drifters. Why? Because they following like on the ocean. You just drifting. You just going along with going on. I'm not a drifter. I don't want my right thinkers to drift. Okay, we gonna tread water. We can swim. We can even dance on the water and not get wet subconsciously. Let's go now. When you can lie, this is how drifters work. When you can lie, cheat, and steal in the name of the Lord, well, you're a drifter. More importantly, you're a liar. Okay, dude. Everything you do is for you. That's not godly at all. Moving on. Drifters, watch this, will serve what? Their ego, aka the devil, by lying to God and thinking he don't know. That represents God, nuts. And if you think you could tell me he's all potent, all omniscient, and all conscious, but yet you could trick him. Really? You can you can hide something from him. Adam and Eve tried that in the garden. What happened? Just a little lesson. Everything is purposely just to give you a lesson. That's all. Egoistic people. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah. Egoistic people. Half of them don't know they're egoistic. That's one of the problems. Okay? Egoistic people are really drifters. Why? Because they use their position of power and to egoistically treat people condescendingly and manipulate them to his likings. You know them kind of people? It's a bunch of them. Okay. Avoid them like the plague. Why? You're not going to benefit. He's going to sell you a bill of goods like the devil. He promised you the world and give you nothing but you allegiance to him. So you're making him strong and powerful and you're making yourself weak. The devil, watch this, loves you drifters, aka idle mind or just believers. hmm hmm If you're not mentally or spiritually strong, you're gonna fall for the okie doke. Okay, I call it the well-dressed lie. If you're ignorant, aka a believer in God, most of y'all are. No offense, just telling you the way it is. Okay, I ain't got time to be shut up and listen. If you're ignorant, aka a believer in God, the devil loves your kind. Why? Because you keep an idle mind. You are not God conscious. Why? You just believe in God. You don't worship, do, think, feel about him. All you do is believe in him when you're in trouble. Oh God, oh God. That ain't serving God. You're serving yourself. You only call him when you need him. I tell you, why did y'all come to God, or most people come to God on their knees and bad and beat up? Why you can't go to him when things are going good? Live in a gratitude. Live in a thankful state. Why? Whatever you got going good, you thank him, and you continue to do that on a day-to-day basis, and they will get better. If you're ignorant, excuse me, all you fake God servers, you guys with the collars and claiming to be all that's nothing. It's what you do as an individual. What God's paid attention to. All you fake servers are really drifters. What doing the devil's bidding. hmm It's where you're doing something, but you know when you lie, cheat, and steal, that's not godly. When you mistreat people and use people, that's not godly. What makes you think you're gonna be blessed with doing that? You got to be crazy. Sorry about that. Calm down. The 2%, here you go. Now, devil tell you it's 2% that he don't have. Why is that? And who is the 2%? Glad you asked. I'm one of them. I got a pastor. He's the other. I can't account for nobody else. Oh, I got a sister. Put her in the midst of her because she knows she's blessed out with her life experience and her understanding. You can't separate her from her God. I got no problem with those kind of people. I endure those kind of people. Why? Because they like me. Not God fanatic running around raising the roof, praising the Lord, talking in tongues and touching all that. Not no. Just live right, treat people right, and things to break out for you because of that alone. Nothing special. The 2% of the true God knowers can't be touched by the ego self, aka the devil. Why is that? I teach God consciousness. I teach spiritual discipline. More importantly, I live it. That's how I know. The devil, come on, I call him out. Come on, come get me. Yeah, get me to do what I used to do. Get me to flip. Get me to go back to what try me. He ain't wasting his time. But most of you believers can't say that. Why? Because you're scared to death. Well, I just believe in God. I don't even know God. So I'm just hoping. That won't get it done. Moving on. Listen, I was the hardest devil worker when I was ignorant. Struck a nerve. Why? Because it angers me. That's what. When I was doing my nonsense, I was good at being bad. I thought that was a good thing. Boy, was I ignorant. Yeah. But now, where we at? Once you reach Nihas, aka self-mastery, party's over. Devil, you got to go. And he ain't been back since. It's been 10 years. He ain't stopped. Oh, first of all, yeah, he's busy, but guess what? He busy somewhere else. He ain't busy messing with me. I done proved my mettle to him. That's what it's all about. If you're gonna serve him, you got to take care of him first. That's my point. When you get there, everything else is okay. Why? That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Getting that guy out. Okay. He didn't do it. So anybody ain't gonna do it. It ain't for everybody. Trust me. But righteous living, virtuous living, that's an opportunity for everybody. If you don't act on it, don't fault what you didn't do for yourself. Moving on. It's all about self. Remember, self first, okay? Your inner self, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, it's all about self. Knowing thyself. I'm a little excited right now. So let me wrap this up. Let me get this lesson through. I'm a little animated this morning. All right, where you go? But once you reach Neos, aka self-mastery, the devil will leave you alone too. He got no beat there. If you struggling with the devil and you losing, I can help you out with that. You need some more spiritual truth and to strengthen your spirituality within yourself. Watch this. Right thinkers, here we go. Right thinkers are God conscious. I'm gonna teach you how to keep God first. And idle mind don't have a space. Why the devil can't get in if you're God conscious. If you're doing everything you're supposed to do, if you're on top of your game, stay focused on what you need to be doing, the devil can't get you. He gets you when you what? Idle. He gets you when you ain't what? Focus. Come on, man. It's personal. If you practice my right thinking philosophy daily, you will strengthening what? Your spiritual self and shaming the devil, the ego self. Why? I'm going to do what's right. I could care less about the thoughts or what could be what. I'm doing what's right. And guess what? By doing that, puts you in a better position and it shames and pisses the devil off. Okay? Trust me on that one. If he can't manipulate you, control you, he has no use for you. So he leaves. When God working through you and you being obedient, he will shield you against that nonsense. They call them blessings. Moving on. When you're God conscious, that means you woke up with what? God on your mind. That means you went through the day with what? God on your mind. You did the meditation, you did the routine with what? God on your mind. When God's on your mind, where's the room for the devil to come in? That's what a lot of believers don't really understand. You got to be prayed up. Like I said, God conscious, what, 24/7? Devil don't care. He'll wait. He'll wait. He'll wait. A good hunter knows when to strike. He's a good hunter. Okay, he tell you he proficient. 98%. That ain't bad number. Moving on. I don't want to be in that number, so I'm part of the 2%. Can you say that? I'm dancing in the street. Why? Because I know what I know and how I'm living. Do you? Simple as that. It ain't complicated. Just moving on. God. Okay. What's the word of that? Being God conscious is my weapon against my ego self. I don't carry nothing but God. I don't need nothing but God. I used to carry a gun, used to pack. Oh, nope, just God. Why? Because the enemy I'm fighting is within me. I don't need no weapon outside of my consciousness, my belief and understanding and knowledge of who I am and what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Sorry. Yeah, but that's what gets you away from being a drifter. With right thinking philosophy mastered, you will have what? Power over your ego self, aka the devil. I shame the devil. I don't have a problem with him. I'm not scared of him. A lot of people, who the devil? Who, he's busy. He always working. Okay. So is God. Who you with? As Bernie Mac would say, who you with? Look up. Okay. I'm with God. I ain't got no question. Don't make no bones about that. Where we at now? Okay. When you learn to control your negative, aka ego self side, bad thoughts, the devil, aka ego, cannot move. When you don't give it thoughts, when you don't give it no legs, so to speak, a bad thought. Unless you act on it, a perverted thought. Unless you act on it, nobody will ever know but you. So until you put it to action, it's just a thought. And all of them the same. Ain't no special thought, ain't no perverted thought. Whatever comes to your mind, if you act on it, the action might be perverted. The thought, just a thought. Get past that and think right. That's how you control the negative thoughts. That's another part. Okay, let's move on. Now, here we at. Believers don't know themselves. That's why they are drifters and don't know it. Again, ignorant of the higher self. You don't know yourself. If you don't know your God, you don't know yourself. If you believe in God, you don't know yourself. I'm just saying. Most of all drifters will claim to be what? Believers in God. That's why he tell you, I got 98% of those God's people. He claim they serving God don't have a clue. That's what he's saying about you ignorant God believers. But remember, you really serving the devil if you're just a believer in God, because you're going to do some of the things that's not godly. Simple as that. If you're a right thinker, you're going to do the right thing. If you don't know yourself, you're a drifter. And in the making, the devil will get you. Okay? If you're still drifting, the devil got you. When you stop drifting, put God first, become God conscious, live by your spiritual discipline, you're no longer a drifter. And you and the devil will become big enemies. Okay, you will not like him. He will not like you. Okay, why is that? You ain't doing what he wants you to do. The devil need to be your enemy. Excuse me. Just being a believer in God is not nearly enough what to keep you from drifting. That's why I keep explaining it to you. If you know yourself, then drifting is something you don't do. Why? Because you know yourself and you God conscious and you are doing the right thing. You're not a drifter. You're not sneaky, conniving. You're transparent. You're easygoing. Your life is cool. Then that's right thinking. Those other guys, believers, they catching hell and wonder, oh Lord, every day you pray for something better, but you keep doing the same thing. That's crazy. You can believe all you want, but the action is what's gonna make the difference. A believer, watch this, who stays focused on God and live like Christ won't drift a bit. That's the point. I know a few of them guys too from the Christian concept. So it don't make a difference what you claim. I know some Muslims, I know some Jews, they all do the same thing. So whatever you're doing, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's going to work and you will be blessed. Last one, appreciate you tuning in. Right thinkers know themselves. Mm-hmm. Okay, aka now we are non-drifters. Again, if we're living right, doing right, thinking right, devil got no use for you. I used to be a wooden drifter when I was ignorant to my higher self, and most of us are. So understand that that's a bad thing, but it's a thing that you can take care of personally. I now know what self knowledge and knowing thyself is the way not to drift. Hmm. Yeah, I know that. Why? I live it. That's why I know. I didn't read it. I didn't assume it. I didn't think it. I live it. That's how I know. If you can't control your sexual desires, meaning blow your waist, you are a drifter. And all you pastors talking to the Lord, preaching that good stuff, but you can't control your sexual desires, you're a drifter. What you do in the congregation in the dark will be brought to light. You preach the same thing in the pulpit, but you wild out during the week. Come on, man, it don't work that way. So that's what I said. Your belief in God ain't enough to keep you from serving yourself or your lower self. Your sexual, you are sexually, your sex, listen, you are a drifter. Sex is your weakness. Again, we're not perfect. We got a weakness. Okay, if you allow it. If you know it's weakness, strengthen it. Take care of it. Right thinkers live righteous, virtuous lifestyles. When? Daily. That's what non-drifters do. Simple. Ain't gotta do nothing special. To keep the devil away, an apple a day keep the doctor away. Right thinking a day keep the devil away. Same thing. Wrapping it up. Become a master right thinker, and the devil will pass you by too. You're God conscious. That's what I do for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Use it. You'll see it works. Trust me.